You're watching Fox 4 Rising News with Miriam Zamorano and Chris Shaw. Storm Shield weather with Danny Beckstrom. On-time traffic with Stephanie Summers. And Kelly Dane with special In Your Corner reports. This is Fox 4 Rising.
One of the first things I hear when I close my eyes are guns, bullets hitting the floor, and just that laugh.
It's just a senseless act of violence, a true face of evil when you really think about it.
Survivors recounting the chilling night a gunman stormed into a gay-friendly Orlando nightclub, killing 49 people and injuring dozens of others. All of the names of those killed in the attack have now been released. This morning, we continue to have our team coverage this morning with Fox 4 anchor Chris Shaw in Orlando. They're on the ground getting the very latest on this devastating attack. Before we check in with Chris, though, we do want to say good morning to all of you at home right now as you wake up and check in with a quick look at our weather and traffic. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Dealing with a typical kind of a June morning, I think, right?
You can feel it. Second you step outside, you'll feel that muggy air out there. Visibility is what we're tracking the most this morning. Probably going to give you the biggest problem as you head out the door, especially if you're in Charlotte County. That's where we're seeing the worst visibility problems, down to 4s and 5s. Here in Lee County, at about a 6 for Fort Myers. So it is hazy out there. You might want to give yourself an extra couple minutes to get where you're going. But we're looking at mostly dry conditions, even though spotty showers starting to dry up now.
Well, other than a little bit of fog in Charlotte County, the roadways are looking good in that area of our viewing area. We do have an accident causing some slowdowns in North Fort Myers at Hancock Bridge Parkway and Skyline Drive, so just be cautious of that. Travel around the area looks pretty good.
And now to our coverage about the terror in Orlando. Investigators are searching for more answers as to why a man would shoot up an Orlando nightclub, making it the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Fox 4 has team coverage this morning. Anchor Chris Shaw is in Orlando right now. Chris, good morning to you. What are you learning?
Well, good morning, Miriam. We do have some new information on the suspect in this case, the alleged shooter Omar Mateen. But we can also tell you that Governor Scott this morning, first thing this morning before sunrise, met with law enforcement, we presume the FBI and local state police, to get an update on the investigation. We are hoping to get some sort of update on the investigation later this afternoon, or later today, I should say. Now let's talk again about the suspect, because we've got some brand new information from the FBI. The FBI director, James Comey, is highly confident Mateen was radicalized by extremism on the internet. The FBI and law enforcement agencies are investigating possible ties to ISIS, along with others that could have been in on the mass shooting. We've also learned, according to the LA Times, Mateen reportedly had a profile on a gay dating app called Jacked and was a regular at Pulse nightclub. One man interviewed by the paper says he even saw him come into Pulse an hour before the shooting Sunday morning. The man tells the newspaper as soon as he saw Mateen's picture linked to the shooting, he went to police with the information. He told police he saw Mateen at the club and that he used to message each other on the dating app. The man says FBI officials took his phone and his login information. Again, that is according to the LA Times. Now, vigils are being held here in Orlando, all over Florida, really all over the world. For In Your Corner's Malcolm Johnson is live at one such vigil that's going to happen later today at Florida Gulf Coast University. Malcolm.
Well, good morning, Chris. Right now we are on the campus of Florida Gulf Coast University out in Naples, and what we are expecting here on this campus tonight at 7 p.m. is there to be a vigil. And at this vigil, it's really a chance for the people in this community to recognize what happened in Orlando. You know, the people that lost their lives, the people that were injured, and the many people who are still mourning the Orlando shooting victims. This is Southwest Florida's chance to really recognize all of those people. And it's going to be held at the Veterans Pavilion. And Chris, I can tell you that vigils like this have been held across the globe, really, in countries including France, Australia, the UK, Germany. And last night, Fox 4's Lisa Greenberg reported out in Sarasota, where a vigil was held to remember the 49 lives that were lost on Sunday morning. And one of them was Sarasota resident Eddie Sotomayor Jr.
Eddie is imprinted on our hearts. He touched all of our lives with that heart of gold. Eddie was known for his free hugs. This is a time when we could all use one. Spread them around. Let his heart of gold live on.
Back here on the campus of Florida Gulf Coast University, you know, school has let out. We just had someone come up to us and say things are so quiet during the summertime. You don't see too many people, but she said she's going to try her best to get out of work so that she can make it here on time for the vigil. So we expect many people from this community to make their way here if possible. And the staff also plans on having folks from the counseling department here as well to assist those who need it. Chris, back to you in Orlando.
Malcolm, thank you. Well, the terror attack here in Orlando still prompting an outpouring of support. This morning, for the past few days, people have been lining up in droves outside Orlando blood banks looking to donate, and now people in Southwest Florida are stepping up to donate too. Naples Community Hospital holding this community blood drive. Organizers say there will be high demand for blood at the Orlando hospitals, and they treat the more than 50 wounded as they treat the more than 50 wounded. People like David, devastated by the attack, say this is his way of showing support.
We can't be there to help them, but we can help them in this way.
If you want to donate to the organization One Blood, it's set up a donation center throughout Southwest Florida, one in Fort Myers on Shops at Plantation Drive, another in Cape Coral on Del Prado Boulevard, and another in Port Charlotte on Harborview Road. Lee Memorial is accepting blood donations as well. And Miriam, that for people who are looking to do something, who are watching this coverage and just hoping that they can help in some way, obviously that is one way that they can really make a difference.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you very much, Chris. You're absolutely right. It's great to see businesses step up, even children showing some love in all of this. A lot of lessons to be learned in that way too. Thanks, Chris. And also remember, you can get the very latest on the story at on our website, fox4now.com.
A quick check of our forecast before we head out the door this Tuesday morning. That fog and haze still an issue, especially if you're in our northern community, Charlotte County. So around 4 and 5 for the visibility. So it is a little more than hazy, starting to look a little foggy. Now in Lee County, it's just still hazy out there. 6 miles of visibility through LaBelle, the airport, Fort Myers, Sanibel, 9 for Naples, but Marco Island improving significantly back up to 10 this morning. So might want to give yourself a minute or two to get where you're going, extra time, I should say, just so you can get there safely. But for the most part, the fog isn't too dense in any of those areas. Still tracking a couple of these pop-up showers, not bringing too much precipitation. You can see a little heavier pocket of rain here tracking toward Naples, tracking toward Alligator Alley, but they're very, very small cells moving through, so it's not bringing a ton of moisture, and they tend to move on very quickly. You can see this one with some light rain headed toward I-75 this morning, but again, it's very scattered, so you're not going to see that widespread rain this morning. In fact, even as we head toward this afternoon, the sea breeze storms will be a little less widespread. Temperatures are so warm. That's the first thing I noticed as I headed out the door this morning. Temperatures are warm, dew points are high. It feels very, very muggy as we start our Tuesday morning. Here's our setup for today. An expected high of about 93 degrees. That is typical for this time of year, but our heat index is more like the triple digits because of the humidity. Grab that umbrella before you head out the door. Sea breeze storms will spark up again as we get into this afternoon, but the good news is it's really just the inland communities, and that means a better beach day ahead of us. A high of about 87 degrees at Fort Myers Beach. Still the slight chance for a couple of pop-up thunderstorms, but for the most part, sunshine. Let's get a check of the Atlantic this morning. As usual, a little bit of tropical moisture, but nothing that we're expecting to turn into any sort of tropical cyclone, at least not for the next 5 days. So far, so good. Pretty calm and quiet. Let's get a check of that morning commute.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. It is a beautiful morning, and it has been pretty quiet out there. We're going to talk a second about an accident in Lehigh Acres, but first I wanted to give you a live view of 75 north at mile marker 132, where traffic is running at top speed. No accidents or delays to report. Things looking pretty good out there if that includes your morning commute. In Lehigh Acres, though, we're seeing some slowdowns at Leonard Boulevard South and 23rd Street Southwest. There is a roadblock reported in an unknown direction, so expect these delays in Lehigh Acres. If you're traveling down 82, looking pretty good. We're seeing that little bit of slowdown at Daniels and 82, Sunshine Boulevard to 75, just about 11 minutes.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. 7:39 now, and Adam Levine has offered to pay the funeral expenses for a singer gunned down after her concert in Orlando. Levine mentored Christina Grimmie when she finished third on NBC's The Voice 2 years ago. Yesterday, Grimmie's New Jersey hometown held a candlelight vigil to honor the singer. She was shot and killed while signing autographs after her show. Authorities say she had no personal connection to the man who shot her. The gunman fatally shot himself after being tackled by her brother. Police are still trying to find out what what motivated her killer. Back here in Southwest Florida, deputies say there are no immediate searches right now for 9-year-old Diana Alvarez. She vanished from her San Carlos Park home more than 2 weeks ago. The suspect in her disappearance, 28-year-old Jorge Guerrero, remains in jail on a child porn charge after images were found on his cell phone. Last week, authorities fanned out throughout Central Florida searching for any signs of Diana, but as of this morning, she remains missing. The South Fort Myers High School student arrested in connection with last month's bathroom sex scandal could avoid criminal charges. The 16-year-old was charged with recording and sharing a video which showed several boys having sex with a teen girl in the school's bathroom. Yesterday in court, the student accepted a diversion program. If he completes that program, no charges will be filed against him. So far, he's the only student facing charges in this case. Today, the Collier County School District is expected to update the public on its stance regarding transgender restrooms. This coming after the school district said it may challenge the federal government's order. A directive by the president requires public schools to allow transgender students to use bathrooms matching their gender identity or risk losing federal funding. But some school board members in Collier County say they consider this government overreach. A Naples man who works for a Pinch a Penny is facing charges in connection with a video voyeurism case in Bonita Springs. 40-year-old Felipes Batsios is charged with burglary and video voyeurism. This after deputies say he pointed a cell phone toward a woman while she was in the shower inside her Bonita Bay home. He reportedly took off when she screamed. Batsios was eventually arrested after deputies tracked the company's truck GPS. Well, deadly mass shootings are now raising concerns about your safety at places you may go to almost every single day. Coming up, we're continuing our coverage on the terror in Orlando, and we'll tell you how you can protect yourself and your family at these so-called soft targets. Plus, we've got a look at your forecast this morning. We'll see about that fog maybe on the roadway for you. We'll check in with Danny and Stephanie for a look at your forecast and your commute. We'll be right back.
Traffic reports brought to you by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured.
When you hit this buzzer, you'd better say something.
Boo-boo in the doghouse, Steve.
Boo-boo in the doghouse.
Family Feud, weeknights at 7 on Fox 4.
Look, this isn't easy for me either, but it just feels right.
This isn't how we raised you.
You never wanted to try it?
Enough.
You must have known I was a little different.
Not this different.
Start your own legacy with the power of Infinity. Lease the QX60 for $399 a month at your local Infinity retailer.
In Big Pine Key in Florida's Lower Keys, the nightlife is hot. The cuisine is top-notch. You can even stay where stars hang out. What's the scene like in Big Pine and the Lower Keys? It's pretty wild.
It is an entire transformation. It's like we have a new home.
Real customers share their stories about Empire today.
It's just that above and beyond that Empire is known for.
And during Empire's 50-50-50 sale, get 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
Empire's products are top-notch. The carpeting and the flooring, it's phenomenal. I'm so happy we selected Empire.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Digestive issues? Try Digestive Advantage. With a natural protective coating, it survives through the stomach's harsh environment 100 times better than leading probiotics. So you can enjoy living well.
Start something better at your Hyundai dealer today. Start the all-new Elantra with available remote start and hands-free smart trunk. Start your 2017 Elantra now for 0% APR with no payments for 6 months. Start any Hyundai with a better warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, 5 years longer than Toyota and Honda. Or start a Sonata now with better technology like available automatic emergency braking. Get the 2016 Sonata now with no payments for 6 months. Start a new Hyundai today and get better for less.
If you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or the victim of medical malpractice, visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Get your Fox 4 weather forecast by listening to Cat Country 107.1.
Car accidents, medical malpractice, wrongful death.
888 John King.
All right, welcome back. This morning, we're learning more about the gunman behind the deadly massacre inside an Orlando nightclub. Fox 4 anchor Chris Shaw is live in Orlando near Pulse nightclub, and he joins us now with more on the gunman and what you can do if you ever find yourself in a situation like this. Chris, so sad to say, people are tuning in to find out what they'll have to do if they should ever get into a crazy situation like this. So, Chris, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Miriam. Unfortunately, it feels like that's what it's come to. I can tell you that people here in Orlando, their main focus right now is on the victims, the people who were killed in this attack, the people who are still in the hospital. But behind me, you see the police activity. We are just outside of the perimeter of that the police have set up while they investigate what happened at the Pulse nightclub, and they are focusing on that as well as centering in on the suspect, trying to figure out who exactly he was and where his ideology came from. Now, we know where his guns came from. Take a look at this. The owner of a gun store where the shooter bought his weapons says the gunman passed a full background check. The owner saying he's devastated by the deadly shooting and his prayers are with the families of the victims. He told reporters during a news conference outside his business that Omar Mateen legally purchased a long gun and a handgun about a week ago.
An evil person came in here and they legally purchased 2 firearms from us. And if he hadn't purchased them from us, I'm sure he would have gotten them from another local gun store in the area.
The owner says Mateen had 2 security licenses, an armed one and an unarmed one. He says he is sorry this, quote, evil person bought the guns from his store. ATF visited the store yesterday and found it is in full compliance with ATF rules and regulations. Well, whenever we see a mass shooting like the one that has rocked Orlando, people get concerned about the safety of their family. 4 in Your Corner's Deborah Sorverine is looking into this. What can happen at public places and these so-called soft targets?
Malls, grocery stores, movie theaters, and nightclubs. They're all places where large groups gather, and they're considered soft targets for mass casualty attacks.
Soft targets are going to be a topic of discussion for all of us now, and we're going to have to decide how much mitigation is going to go into protecting these types of soft targets.
Todd Wilcox, a candidate for Senate, is a former CIA agent who worked on the Joint Terrorism Task Force in Orlando. He says Sunday's deadly terror attack is the latest evidence of the dangers soft target businesses could face.
I think every time we see an attack like this, the public is going to become more vigilant and more aware of their surroundings. That's the first step. You have to see something, say something. Beyond that, businesses are going to have to start thinking about ways in which they can protect their patrons.
Protection will have to go beyond security cameras for some businesses, according to retired police chief Walt Zelisko.
What's important is for these soft targets and the management of these soft targets is to have a plan ready, do an analysis of their vulnerability, and then communicate that plan with their employees and with local law enforcement.
Zelisko now works as a security consultant. He says measures like metal detectors could also help prevent a tragedy. And while no plan is foolproof, Wilcox believes we could see more discussion from lawmakers on how to improve security at everyday businesses.
I think we're going to see a debate on what do we do about this.
Deborah Souverain, Fox 4 in Your Corner.
And it's worth repeating that these places where large crowds gather, places like a movie theater, a club, a mall, grocery store, places like that, police refer to as soft targets. Now, in the midst of the tragedy in Orlando, people from all over the state, all over the country, are stepping up to help the victims however they can. But one restaurant here is lending a hand to those taking care of the victims. A pizza place near the nightclub called Brick and Fire on Sunday made hundreds of free pizzas and gave them to hospital staff, victims' family, and police. Word of their generosity got out, and yesterday, the restaurant tells us, people from all over the country began calling in, ordering pizzas, and having them delivered to the police and the hospital. So hospital personnel and victims' families could have these pizzas. One of many very generous and nice things that we are seeing as the country sort of concentrates on Orlando and tries to help in any way they can. I can tell you that people who live here are thankful for that, and their concentration right now is on the victims and healing as a community. Miriam.
Yes, thank you, Chris, which they should be. Those are the names that we should be remembering, and that kindness does go a long way. Thanks, Chris. And by the way, if you missed any of the coverage, if you want to know what's going on, we have organized it all on our website at fox4now.com. You can head there for the very latest throughout the day when we're off air as well.
Well, as you're heading out the door this morning, this is what you're looking at. Courtesy of our Zoomtan Skycam, a look over the Caloosahatchee at downtown Fort Myers. A mix of sun and clouds out there in the sky and a little bit of haze. We are seeing that fog continue to form here, but now that the sun is up, we should start to see conditions improve in the next hour or so. But as you head out the door for your morning commute, you will run into some spots of that patchy fog, especially in Charlotte County. That's where we're seeing the worst visibility. 4 for Arcadia and Punta Gorda, 5 in Northport, 6 through Lee County this morning, 6 at the airport as well. The conditions improving in Collier County. So if you are in the northern communities, Lee County as well, you could run into some spots where visibility is a little more poor. Satellite and radar is calming down. We've been watching these showers that are just off the coast. A few of them did track onto land, but really losing steam before they dropped too much rain. Now we are seeing this one little cell head toward Naples, head toward Alligator Alley, but you can see where it was once a little heavier rain already starting to lose steam and kind of work itself out. So most of these showers will not affect us a whole lot as we head into the rest of our morning. The Gulf looks pretty calm and clear this morning, at least closer to us. But as we head into the afternoon, as the sea breeze storms pick up, we will still see the threat for thunderstorm activity. Not at an elevated risk for severe weather today. That's always good news, but we could have a few lightning strikes out there. Our storm shield forecast showing the development of these sea breeze storms around 2 or 3, primarily for those inland communities east of I-75. But they're a little less widespread today than maybe yesterday, so coverage not quite as great, and then we'll clear out pretty quickly and do it all over again tomorrow. It's proof we're really into this summer-like pattern. Dew points very high, pretty uncomfortable out there. Temperatures also very high. When you factor them both together, feels like temperature is very warm to start our Tuesday, still in the 90s in terms of what it feels like in Charlotte County this morning. Looking at our hour-by-hour breakdown, heating up to 93 degrees. Heat index is feeling more like triple digits today, though, so it's a hot one with that humidity. Grab that umbrella if you get caught in one of those sea breeze storms, but for the most part, we're looking at a typical summer weather pattern as we head into this afternoon. Stephanie?
Okay, couple things you need to know as you head out the door in Charlotte County. We have a crash causing some major backups. I-75 southbound. This is between Sumter Boulevard and Toledo Blade Boulevard. Mile markers 179 to 182. You can see these slowdowns right here. Traffic is not moving southbound right here between Sumter and Kings Highway. Also, major backups in Lehigh Acres at Leonard Boulevard and 23rd Street Southwest due to that accident. That's your traffic.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. This morning, all of the victims in the deadly mass shooting at an Orlando nightclub have been identified. Coming up, we'll have one last update to this very developing story. You're watching Fox 4 Rising. Time now 7:52.
Traffic reports brought to you by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured. This Storm Shield weather update is sponsored by Right Choice Realty. Terror in Orlando, the worst mass shooting in U.S. history.
Killed 50 people.
Fox 4 has complete team coverage on the scene of the massacre.
Maybe connections to ISIS.
To key locations across
We're
Florida.
getting a first look at the condominium.
Uncovering every angle. On air, online, in your corner. Fox 4 News.
You think you've got a good answer?
How about your panties?
This is too much information. Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 4.
Hello, Southwest Florida. I'm Jay Severson at Garden Street's You Pull It. I'm sure you know, but for decades, Garden Street has been the leader in recycling in Southwest Florida. But did you know you can get used auto parts here? Look at this, over 900 vehicles to choose from on this amazingly clean concrete lot. Find the model you want, pick the part you need, pay just a fraction of retail prices.
Hi, how are you?
Check it out, over 900 vehicles to choose from, so come on down to Garden Street You Pull It, where recycling is done right.
What's your style? Find your style at Badcock and save big at our Father's Day sale. Shop power recliners just $2.98, sofas starting at just $4.98, 5-piece bedrooms starting at just $5.48, and instant mattress savings up to $400 off. Plus, get 24 months interest-free with no credit refused. Badcock makes it easy. Don't miss our Father's Day sale.
Have you done anything out of the ordinary recently? Bought a new washer and dryer from the home improvement store. I'm afraid you're suffering from FOBO.
FOBO?
FOBO. Fear of better options.
The only cure for FOBO is H.H. Gregg. H.H. Gregg works fast, relieving FOBO with an unmatched selection of appliances and a low price guarantee. Plus, get free delivery. Appliances, electronics, furniture. H.H. Gregg. Gregg's got it.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Welcome back, 7:55 now. We want to give you one last update to the Orlando nightclub shooting. Here's what we know so far before we leave you this morning. Authorities say 29-year-old Omar Mateen shot and killed at least 49 people at a gay-friendly nightclub in downtown Orlando early Sunday morning. Police eventually killed him in a shootout afterwards. The FBI says Mateen spoke with a 911 operator 3 times amid the attack and pledged allegiance to ISIS during the last call. The FBI is investigating his ties to ISIS, but they say they are highly confident he was radicalized by extremism on the internet. All of the victims who died in the attack have been identified. All right, we're going to take a quick break right now. You are taking a live look at Cape Harbor this morning in Cape Coral with those clouds overhead. We'll get a look at your 7-day forecast when we come back.
Traffic reports brought to you by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
At Regions Bank, we offer the innovative tools you need to make banking simple so you can take your next step in life. Ashley, a real Regions customer, loves that we offer Regions mobile deposit and advanced online banking tools to help her keep track of her money. Sierra uses Android Pay and online planning tools that help her plan for the future. And they both love that there's a helpful Regions banker available to offer personal advice and guidance. Ready to take your next step? Regions Bank is right here in Fort Myers. Call, click, or come by.
Today we're going to talk about the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze, but you're only going to answer me in emojis. So this Cruze has built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi with 24 gigs of data. It also comes with 24 months of Sirius XM satellite radio.
Like word, Chevy. That's the way to go.
Current qualified lessees can get this all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze LT with 2 years of Sirius XM radio for around $169 a month. See your Southwest Florida Chevy dealers.
If you think you're disabled and you need assistance, let me win for you.
The Law Office of Ronald J. Miles, here to represent you. If you call the Law Office of Ronald J. Miles, you're going to get Ron. If you're contemplating filing for disability, get advice today before you file. If you're unsure who to talk to, if you're unsure who to call, you can call the Law Office of Ronald J. Miles. Over 70% of those who file for the first time get denied. Ron can help you get prepared.
If you think you're disabled and you need assistance, let me win for you.
Mother Earth Natural Foods, a lifestyle of healthy living, now with 6 locations.
Watch out for some morning fog as you head out the door this morning, and then isolated sea breeze storms this afternoon.
Traffic-wise, a crash at 23rd Street causing some serious backups at Gunnery Road and Lehigh Acres.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 5.